for tuning in to the Profits of IT. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and share. Welcome back to the Profits of IT. I am Jim Punzenberger, your host, and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. If you're looking to generate leads and appointments through hyper-personalized outreach, check out managedprospectingsystem.com. I have Hilary here today. Hilary, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about the company that you work for?
Well, thank you, Jim. Hi, I'm Hilary Gadda, and I am the Director of National Channel Development for TPX, and we're a national MSP that specializes in SMB security. Right now, we are doing a lot of work in verticals. And so I'm hoping to be able to talk to you a little bit about that.
Cool. And what's something interesting about yourself outside of work?
Ooh, okay. I don't know if it's terribly interesting, but I do love to travel. I miss it so over the last 2 years. I am on YouTube looking at every small travel snippet that people are going that they're willing to post. And then the others, I love gardening. I really enjoy, I think that's my way of taking control of something in a world that is uncontrollable, which is IT. So
Yeah, so gardening. So you like, is that like flowers and shrubs and bushes or vegetables, fruit? What type of gardening do you like to do?
Jim, mostly, well, it's a mix. It's a mix. I love vegetable gardening, and I have found that I'm not good at it. I spend a lot of time with, a small yield, but I have found that I can grow passion fruit of all things here in Sonoma. With it getting very cold in the winter, I do have this thriving passion fruit vine that has taken over everything.
That sounds very tasty.
It is good, I must say. It's a good thing I like passion fruit.
Yeah, I guess I think I've had it before, but it's not common here in Wisconsin.
No, well, it's not really common here. There's always, like in the supermarket, 3 little sad passion fruits in the produce department. But I just picked a vine up at the nursery, and it's a monster now. It's a monster. I'll send you some.
Okay. Will it will it still be good when it makes it to me?
It should.
That sounds sounds very wonderful. So what would you say is your superpower when it comes to business, and how can others learn from that and apply that in their lives and their businesses?
That's a really actually very interesting question, and it's a hard question. A superpower, I would say probably sales enablement. So bringing some methodology, whether it's about, as I had mentioned, a vertical or a technology, and getting that out to the selling forces, and being able to have them articulate what a technology can actually do to help a customer or end user versus talking about the technology for just the sake of technology. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like really, I guess, is it really kind of like being a translator of techno jargon to plain English?
I would say that, yes. Yeah, I we work so much at TPX in the SMB market that there's a lot of companies that don't have or have very limited IT staff, and they're not going to be spending the hours that we all do digging in, reading the white papers and the blogs and all that. They have to run their business. And so it's to be able to help the partners be able to, as you said, translate into something that a non-technical company would understand and not fear, I guess.
And do you have tips on how one can do this, get better at this? Well, if I'm an MSP and I'm uh, a technical, a really engineer by trade, but I'm a business owner. I own an MSP business, so to speak, and I'm struggle. And if I struggle in this area, do you have any tips for how I can improve in this area?
I really do, and it's what I had mentioned up front in the beginning was the verticals. I think that oftentimes people feel that a vertical will lessen their reach, out to the customers. Well, if I'm only talking to this group, then I'm missing everybody else. But if you can get deep and dense into a particular vertical, you actually open more doors because you're already considered an expert. They feel that you've invested in their business, so the appointments are more readily. And the end beginning to close process is faster because you know where their pain points are and you can articulate it in their language. And one of the verticals right now that is so white hot is education. And everybody can participate in the vertical of education. Every MSP, no matter what you specialize in, they have, what is the American Rescue Plan? I believe they just put out, I'm probably going to get this number wrong, but I think it's about $175 billion that the education sector has to spend before September 23rd, I think 2023. So there's so much that can be done, and the education vertical is massive when you start peeling the onion away. So there's just lanes that you can go down.
So that's like $3 billion per state.
It's so much. It's so much, and they need the help so badly. They've been so tipped off, off of their feet over the last few years, and they're really just, I don't want to say the word begging for help, but they need help. And I would think there's a lot out there, materials, education, infographics, all these things to help MSPs be able to pick up the vernacular and all of the other things that are needed. But it's a great opportunity, just a vast opportunity.
And if I'm not in the vertical or this vertical in education and I want to get into it, is there you have tips on doing so specifically?
Well, again, online there is so much materials, again, and white papers, blogs, all different types of things. Blogs like yours, what you're doing, your podcast. I have access to all different types of sales materials that can help, trainings, and I'd be happy to, without any commitment of any kind, share this, because I think that the education sector could use all of our help. So I'm happy to help anybody that is interested.
And is there specific ways? I'm not sure with this legislation. Is there ways that the MSPs could help then the schools with obtaining the funding to do this work?
Well, I think that's readily available to the schools, if that was the question. But they can help guide them. You can read the American Plan. It is available for the education sector. Actually, you can find information on our website, tpx.com, about it as well. We have it up there. But education, just getting to know what that plan is and sitting down with the schools. But most are aware, they just aren't sure where to start on the technology side.
And is there specific technologies that are covered by the plan? Is that so? Should the MSPs be talking about specific things?
Well, right now, everything is an endpoint, just for starters, right? Everything is an endpoint. Now schools are virtual, they're not, they're back, they're forth, there's a million things going on. The breaches, the security breaches, the ransomware is rampant in schools right now. It doubled. I'm hoping I'm getting my facts right here, but if I'm not mistaken, it doubled between 2019 and 2020. And somebody, just as an example from my area, UC San Francisco, last year ended up having to pay 1.5 million out with this,
Yeah,
of course, they didn't have.
I know.
So endpoints are always great.
I know in the private sector, the ransoms increased. Average ransom increased like 100x or something in the last year, something like that. It's uh, the cyber gangs are just requesting more and more, or demanding more and more as for the ransoms, and organizations are paying it. So
Well, unfortunately, there's a lack of choice and of speed. There's all kinds of conversations about insurances and whatnots, and that's going to become very difficult to sort through. Also, by the time you put an insurance claim through, your ransom window is far gone. And so there was a study of about 500 IT, educational IT professionals, and they were stating that 44% of their institutions were hacked, and that between 58 and 60% had encrypted all of their data. So it's and that just is increasing, every day, every month. And so I just think there's such an opportunity. I think there's an opportunity for us all to get together and help. Education is paramount to the success of the country, and
yes,
I think we can be a lot of help and come together.
So what would you recommend as far as the first steps for an MSP to, if I'm an MSP watching or listening right now, what should I do immediately? What should I do tomorrow to take advantage of this?
Well, selfishly, I'm just going to say we have these great materials, so I really would love to share. It's not these are not TPX how to sell. It's how to get into this sector. It's how to get into this vertical. But I think if an MSP is not interested in talking to a particular company, there is vast information on the internet about the education sector. There just is. But again, I'm passionate about it, and I would love to help anybody and get them a starter kit of what they would need and how to open a conversation with the school board, with the director, with whatever they need, and give them some overview on what their real concerns are, their short need fixes right away, and get them on their way, whoever they sell and however they sell it.
Got it. And so is there a specific type of MSP that makes a better partner for you? Like who should partner with TPX, and why should they partner with TPX?
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that. Well, we work with a variety of MSPs, and what we want to be is a support system for what they already do. We don't want to be looked at or considered in any way competition. We want to bolster what their portfolio is. One of the things that we found to be a real quick success was doing patching, just something as simple as patching for an MSP. They're busy people, and they're highly skilled, and they're certified, and the everyday mundane, as some may say, but so necessary tasks we can do for them. We work with individual MSPs, regional MSPs, and a few national MSPs. And again, it could be something as simple as doing data backups and help support them and their customers. One of the reasons to work with us is that, we have the equipment we have on-prem. There's no storage or out of pocket for an MSP when they use us. And we have 24/7 US support for their customers. So they don't need to worry about getting that call at 2 a.m. on Christmas Eve to help support. We've got that for them, as well as being experts in network. And I think that's a real benefit to an MSP, is just having somebody else in your back pocket that knows all of that across the country.
So essentially, is it that you can be like the back office for an MSP? Is that one way of thinking about it?
We can be a really robust wingman.
And so the MSP can focus on selling, and you guys can fulfill for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're there when they want us to be there, when they need us, and when their customers need us.
And if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what would be the best way of getting a hold of you?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. You can email me at first initial, last name, Gadda, Gadda at tpx.com. I'm on LinkedIn. Please LinkedIn with me. I'd love that. You can also, if you're a Facebook user, I have my business Facebook, so you can find me, Hilary Gadda, on Facebook as well.
So Hilary Gadda on LinkedIn or Facebook, or email hgadda at tpx.com.
That's
Gadda
it.
is Gadda.
Yes.
Any last words before we say goodbye here?
Well, no, I just wish you and all your viewers and listeners a very happy holiday. And this was a real pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity, Jim.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing about this great opportunity in the education vertical. It's, I think, something that, well, what would you just say? There's $3 billion, over $3 billion per state in funding from the federal government that is a really huge opportunity. And so thanks again for your time and sharing.
Thank you.
And until next time on The Profits of IT, I am Jim Punzenberger, your host and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. If you're looking to generate leads and appointments without cold calling, ad spend, or spamming, i.e. through hyper-personalized outreach, check out managedprospectingsystem.com. Interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Profits of IT. Interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Profits of IT.